Join us as we speak with a whole host of expert navigators through the land of parenting. They'll offer you stories, validation, and a few directions to help you find your way if you're feeling a little lost. Our children need so much support, and to support them in this way, we need a map for the sometimes bumpy terrain of parenting. And when things inevitably change, we need a new map. A whole bunch of maps so that we can find our way with mindfulness, attunement, play, and self-care. Welcome, parents. I'm Belynda Smith from Meerilinga Parenting Service. Today we've got with us Jason Hyde. Jace is a single father of 4 with lived experience in alcohol and other drugs, mental health, and family and domestic violence. His professional background spans the military, nursing, and social services, where he has supported individuals facing complex barriers and societal expectations. Jace focuses on place-based, strength-based approaches that address adverse childhood experiences, generational trauma, and the challenges men face in parenting. Also in relationships, mental health, homelessness, and behaviour. His work is grounded in integrity, autonomy, and non-judgment, offering ethical, empathetic support to men and dads through his work with not-for-profits and his business, Authentic Men. Welcome, Jace.
Hey, thank you very much for the invite. So lovely to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. It's great to have you here. So we start by asking a little bit about you and how you've ended up where you're at now, and why you're passionate about potentially one of the things this podcast is about, so mindfulness, attunement, play or self-care, but just generally, I guess, parenting.
Parenting, yeah. So fatherhood for me came, it started from diversity. It was an accident. There was an accident that changed the trajectory of my life. I had an accident when I was in the Defence Force. Right. I grew up in a KGB, so I'm a Kundula Gurween boy.
I was like, what is KGB?
KGB, yeah, absolutely. Right. Anyone that's sort of familiar with that will know exactly where I was. I grew up in a childhood. My childhood was adverse, and my parents were very generational. I had no intention in being a father. I was more than happy just being a bachelor. Mm-hmm. But as I said, I was working in the Navy and I had an accident, and that's where I met my kid's mum. 4 children later, here I am. I didn't really know how to be a father, but wanted to be better than my father's parental practices. Work, everything was about my children when they were growing up. My marriage finished, and that was through adversity, family domestic violence. I was a victim survivor, and I was thrusted into the headlights of single fatherhood. 4 very young children, At the stage, I had alcohol and drug issues, was facing mental health issues, financial vulnerability, hardship, loss, trauma, and everything else that comes with it. Yeah. So I faced all that adversity and overcome it. But again, on top of that, I had to deal with being a father. And not just a father of 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, and everything that comes along with being a father of those dynamics. And that includes supporting my daughters through puberty, and their first sexual experiences. Yeah. So what next? So the trajectory changed again for me. I have a daughter who has ASD, is low functioning. I couldn't just sit on the lounge and do nothing. So I thought, I'll become a nurse. So I became a nurse. And then I went into social services. Yeah. So I worked with the homeless and vulnerable people for a very, very long time, and then changed out of that. So we evolve, right? So I evolved into the space into the parenting spaces, and where I am at now.
Yeah, and I imagine having all that experience really supports you as you support men and dads. So then my next question is, do you have a story about a map or a set of ideas? Because this, the idea behind this podcast was that parents need a map. We really need a map. We feel quite out of out of sorts on any given day, and we'd love some direction. So we need a map, but often it changes. So what's a map or a set of ideas that you've found helpful for yourself or the parents you work with?
Yeah, so I really like Circle of Security, and I think I've spoken with you this before around that attachment. It's a really great map. If you can teach it to young tearaway kids, then you can teach it to anyone. So obviously Circle of Security is my turn to when it comes to supporting parents with their parenting journey. But I looked at some of the past podcasts that you've done, and I just want to reflect on David Zarb, the CEO of Playgroup, right, WA, in a podcast. And he just said this word that really reflected with me, and it just felt really comfortable, and it was called normalise. Normalise everything. Normalise your life, normalise your parenting, normalise your children. I thought that was really, like, he didn't say normalise those things, he just said normalise, and I thought that was really pointed in the journey of parenting. So take the stress off yourself. Right? Parenting is an opportunity to grow, be fun, have a lot of fun, and raise awesome human beings, right? You don't have to make it difficult. People talk about there's no book of parenting. Well, that's actually not true.
I used to say that to my mum. There's a whole library.
There's a library of books, right? But actually the book of parenting is right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your children,
your kid.
okay? So they're the book of parenting. They'll tell you their needs.
You just need to listen.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just okay to be the good enough parent at 30% of the time. And if you break it down, 30% is a lot. So if you can achieve the good enough parent for 30% of the time, you're doing really well. Your children will inform their needs and what they need. You just got to follow it. Yeah. I love the let them theory.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I really put that in place when it comes to parenting and children. And I often talk about it with men, dads, fathers, around that, that all they really need, children, all they really need from us is for us to love them, to laugh with them, to listen to them, to acknowledge them, and to hear them. You know, it's okay for our children to cry. It's okay for our children to be upset. You know, it's okay for them to be angry. You know, but they just need us to be with them, to know that we trust them like they trust us.
So simple, isn't it? And in our culture, it's so difficult. You know, there's so much. I think parents feel a lot of judgment. You know, if their child is, they're out at the shopping centre and the child's crying,
Right.
You're okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Stop. You know, and I think you're right that in that moment, the fastest way to help your child now and in the future is to be with those. Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard when we can't buy the toy you want or you've stubbed your toe or whatever else it is. But it's a new idea in a lot of ways.
It's no beginning, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
So just normalise
Western
it.
culture anyway.
When you're in the shopping centre and your child is throwing their tantrum, tantrums are normal for children. Well, it's not something out of the ordinary, you know. Normalise that other people's children throw tantrums as well, you know. You're not the first.
A colleague had something on her Instagram the other day about have you thanked the parent lately? And I love that too, just going up to a dad in a shopping centre that's with their little kid going off up the wall and saying you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or well done. We all have hard days.
Absolutely.
And I see a lot more of that now. It's
You're
really
kicking
great.
goals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really good. Yeah. Very important. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love Circle of Security too. I think it does offer parents a really simple but quite profound way of understanding their child's needs. So if parents listening want to learn more, you can go to circleofsecurityinternational.com. It's a good place to look for it. So when parenting feels overwhelming in those hard moments, and, you know, you've been through some really hard moments, what did you turn to? And obviously sometimes we turn to things that aren't helpful, but as you came out of that and you found the support, gathering the support you needed.
It was really difficult back then because there wasn't the supports for men, you know, and still
there
isn't the support for men, and that's partly organisations have to take the responsibility for that, because still in this day, organisations don't make parenting programs accessible for men or men friendly.
So yeah, what do you think does work for dads and for men? What do they need to feel comfortable coming along to parenting workshops?
Male or fathering participation in children's lives and interventions is really, really quite important. They have a big impact on the family and children. But yet participation rates are still very low. And as I said, this can be an organisational issue. And the reasons behind this is fathers, and research tells us again that fathers feel perceived barriers. So recruitment and advertising of programs as such, they're not father-focused, they're not men-focused. Content features of the program aren't place-based or, again, men-focused. So, you know, whether they're meeting the socioeconomic area or strategy, or whether they're meeting cold strategies, and also facilitator characteristics. Who's facilitating that? You know, is it a male facilitating? Is it a female facilitating?
Yeah, I used to start a workshop, Dads Make a Difference with, hi, I'm not a dad, sorry, and get co-facilitators along. But absolutely, it works best if you've got someone who does have that lived experience and really understands in and out what's going on.
And I think practical factors as well. It's running, a lot of dads are working during the day. They're tired when they come home. What do we do? How do we do that?
Bedtime, bath time,
Yeah, absolutely. And how do we get the dads to come along? You know, and as I said, the AMH, Australian Men's Health Forum, have a practical guide around that. They have a model of practice, which is really great, and it talks about, if you don't mind me talking about it a little bit.
Love to hear it.
It talks about promotion culture and structure. So when you're promoting, targeting men directly, meeting men where they're at, to making a place-based, right? Using male-friendly language, because we're just blokes.
Yep.
You know, we just get it. You know, culture. So don't view men as a problem when we're doing these things, when we're running these programs. You know. Combine getting help with giving help. So men really love to fix things, right?
Yep.
But they don't like to fix things for themselves. They'll fix things for someone else, right? So making it about them, making the programs about them, supporting them, men supporting men, helping them build a social connection. So having these programs so they can build social connections, not just I'm coming along to tick a box to do a program. I'm coming along, I'm building a social connection, right? Structure, help men help themselves. Yeah, men like to help themselves. Yeah, really cool. They want to build wars.
When you were talking about normalising before, just kind of bringing all this in, the workshops that we offer specifically to dads, the overwhelming feedback we get is, oh, it's great to be with other dads and to hear that I'm not the only one. And everything you're saying there about feeling like it's targeted at you, feeling like you're helping others and being part of this sense of belonging, knowing that there's nothing wrong with you or your kids if you're struggling a bit, all of those things, you just gather a group of blokes together and they figure it out. Yeah,
it has to be holistic. It has to be a safe space.
Yeah.
You know, men need to be themselves. There's no point running workshops where men come along, or men, dads, whatever, come along and they don't feel that they can speak up and they feel they have to be someone else. It's not holistic, you know, and it's not trauma-informed.
No, absolutely. Oh, it sounds like you do an amazing job with the sessions that you're running. So kind of going on with ideas for dads or parents listening in. So if parents listening in are feeling a little bit lost and they need that kind of true north, like what's, you know, we know the maps change all the time from toddlers to teenagers. It can look quite different, sometimes very similar with the tantrums, but quite different. What's been a true north point for you, and what's something really like a really simple tool that parents could try today to make life go a bit easier?
I think true north for me has been like there was no perfect parenting for me. I had to reparent myself. I had to understand what that was about. Like when I became a dad, one day I wasn't, the next day I was. Yeah. Wow. You know what I mean? And I didn't have people bandying around me. It was just when I became a single dad, it was the same thing. I didn't have people banding around me. And again, I had to reparent myself. You know, what does this mean? What am I doing? I think for me, true north for me was understanding that I was the model to my children's success. That was true north for me. So how do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we do that? So I think, and again, it steps back to what I was talking about before, just let your children be children and let you be you. And the two will come together really, really well. If you try to be something, if you try to force something, it's not going to work.
It's that tension and that sort of striving in a really tense way that can cause issues.
Yeah, exactly. So as parents, our job really is to help our children build resilience and boundaries. And that will inform really good generational effect, you know. So it's not our position as parents, and I had to work this out really early. It wasn't my position as a parent to fix everything for my children. It was my position as a parent to help them understand that everything they did had a consequence, whether it was good, whether it was bad. But it was my job as a parent to model the behaviour that supported protective factors, that resilience. Yeah, I think that was my go-to. Understanding that when your children come to you, they need to know that you trust them as much as they trust you. That's really important. And I talk about it. My daughter's probably going to hate me saying this. When she had her first sexual experience, and I think I said this before, a really difficult thing for a daughter to bring that to their father. And I had two options, right? Get angry and
freak out.
Freak out, as you say, or just be that supportive, loving parent that goes, wow, I hear you. It wasn't a good experience for you, or it was a good experience for you. But hey, I'm here to listen and please, I love you, feel safe. Especially as a father, because our behaviours are very important to our daughters. The old adage story, our daughters marry their fathers, is really, really true. Daughters marry the person that they want to father their children. So if you have a really good role model as a father, if you're a really good role model, your daughter's going to want that for her children. So I had to really remember that. And these are things that I learnt, that I picked up myself, over the years. I didn't have the advantage of having Jaces around or other programs like, that were around fathering space. So, yeah, I think that's my thing for dads.
Yep.
Even parents, mums as well. Yeah. Just trust your kids.
I love that. Yeah. I think it's such a strange one for parents in this culture where we're so often trying to control everything our kids are doing and trying to make it look a certain way, and through no fault of our own. We've been trained by our society to have the perfect Instagram life and make it all go well. Yeah. But I think you're right, trusting that they know that their own needs, trusting that they'll ask us, trusting in our relationship and our connection, all of those things is really beautiful. Yeah, I think that's very wise advice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Well, it's worked for me, but be careful what you ask for as well, because you may get more than what you feel you need.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be ready for it, don't you?
Absolutely.
So is there anything else you want to share with us before we finish up? Anything we haven't covered?
I think, I'm not sure. I'd probably talk about why I came into this space.
Go for it. Why did you end up delivering parenting programs to men?
Right, because fathers are important and they're underrepresented in the space of parenting, right? I think I was just reading earlier on out in the foyer there that 2% of funding goes to men's health. So 2%.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, in Australia, 2%.
And as a mother of boys, that's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It is terrifying. So I came into it realistically to see if there was an opportunity to lead the way in being bigger and stronger. Talk about circular security,
Circular security, it's great.
In pioneering change across the sector. Yeah. I often go to early years groups, youth groups, council groups, local government groups, and I'm the only male there amongst 40, 50 females, right, in the sector. I remember once someone said to me that there's an underrepresentation of men in the sector. It's not really. There isn't really. Sort of I'll push back on that because I don't feel there is. I feel the representation is a representation of funding. I think we need to bear in mind that 5.4 million fathers in Australia. Of the single-parent families in Australia, 300,000 of them are male single-parent families. They're not insignificant numbers, right?
Yes,
so half of parents are men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we want to inform generational change, we need to give fathers the ability to meet accountability. If we as a society want to have a higher expectation of dads, we need to give them the support, the understanding to become, to have that higher expectation, you know. As a community, as a nation and a community, if we want to support generational change, like I said, we need to give men the opportunity to achieve that. You know, not just tell them.
Yeah. Scaffold and support.
Yeah.
So that leads neatly into how can people get in touch with you if they're interested in the programs you facilitate or the work that you do? How can they reach you?
So I work in the industry and I work for not-for-profits. They can contact me at authenticmen.org if they want to, .outlook.com. I'm in the process of setting up the websites and stuff like that, so it's a new concept.
Yep.
I'm also on the board of directors with Men's Health and Wellbeing WA, so they can contact me through there. We're just doing a blokes book. We're just about ready to flood the market with it. So that's going to be a really interesting book for men and fathers and father figures.
Amazing.
Just about men, and that was funded through the Mental Health Commission, which is really great. Also work for the Fathering Project, so you'll be able to contact me through the Fathering Project if there's needs around the Fathering Project.
Lots going on.
Lots going on.
Fantastic. Oh, it's so great to hear your voice, so great to hear all the good work that you're doing. And as I say, as a mother of boys, I'm really passionate about finding ways to support men in our culture to really feel the support they need to show up as dads and be really active primary parents as they are. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think to do that, we need to look at, again, as I said, the underrepresentation in programs and stuff like that. Even if men don't have a big voice, we still need to give them
space.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you so much. Good to speak with you.
Thanks, Amin. Thanks for inviting me.
This podcast is produced by Meerilinga, thanks to funding from Healthway. I'm Belynda Smith, Manager of Parenting Services at Meerilinga. If you'd like to know more, you can visit our website, www.meerilinga.org.au, or if you'd like to get in touch, send us an email, parenting@meerilinga.org.au, or visit us on socials. Thanks.